You ever reach Imperial Reviews, and today's recap is from episode 7, season 3. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So I haven't did a recap on the show from in the last 2 weeks. I have been still watching the series. It's just that it's not bringing. Like, I do the recap, and sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do it, and then I'll forget. And it's not bringing enough to me, and I was concerned about this series that it reminds me of the show Lost, where after a while, it just got lost. And it's like, it's not really bringing much substance. So I figured, okay, 3 episodes went by. Let me do the recap after this last one. So what's been pretty much, ain't too much that took place. You had Tabitha, Jade, and Kenny and all them came back. They stumbled upon this area down in the woods where it had 3 red stones. They got with Tabitha. Tabitha explained these stones, pretty much saying she was there when she was little. She kept dreaming about this, these 3 red stones, and she hid from someone. And the reason why she was dreaming them because she actually was there, and she described it. And Jade was like, "Oh man!" So of course they took Jade. I can't think of the dad right now. The dad's name. The dad and Ethan all out there to go see these stones. They had this moment, and the dad had to believe in Tabitha, and then Jade was there. Meanwhile, back in the town, you got, I think I did cover in one of the episodes that Fatima, they did an ultrasound and the baby, there was nothing there. So what's growing inside her? So she's getting worse and delirious. There was a moment where Donna spoke to Boyd, pretty much telling him that Fatima should leave because they can't trust what's growing inside her, how she gonna react. She could be a harm to the group. Then you had Elgin, and he's, that spirit ghost been following him, telling them that they can help him. She can help everybody. So he's caught up. He not telling nobody what he's seeing. Telling nobody he got his 6th sense and he's seeing ghosts. And the ghost is taking pictures, and the ghost leads him to the cellar area where Boyd came out way back, and it leads him there. And he opening up doors, and it was nothing at first, so and then once he left, turned away, the door knocked, like basically telling him like keep going, so it was another, like it was like a chamber of different doors, and he finally opened up, and there was a room back there. Now we thinking, and it was a bag of bones. What I said, bag of bones. Deceased body, looked like it was burnt or ash, whatever it was. It looks like that. It looked like the man that was chained up to the wall that gave Boyd, that put that blood in Boyd. That's what it looked like. Now, the spirit woman with the red dress showed up again, but this time Elgin wasn't really scared or whatever. So you had that going on. Then you had Julie befriending Randall, and and so she wanted to learn how to drive. Randall pretty much said he wanted to teach her how to drive. And then while Randall was driving, he started getting the cicadas coming on him. He freaked out, and he got out the car, told Julie to go home, and he ran off. But Julie went after him. But when Julie went after him, they ran into this like shrine-looking place, and Randall was like, "Yo," he grabbed Julie, and Julie was drawn to it, and she was like, "You can feel that too?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Yo, let's get out of here." So he ended up telling her like, "Yo, don't leave that place alone." we already got a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, by the next episode, she was like, "Don't you think we should go back?" He was like, "Nah, you don't need to get back." And he burst at her and said, "We need to stay away from that place." But you know, Julie, hardhead, she gets the thoughts and the bravery to pull Ethan with her back to that shrine place, and she went into a mode where she left Ethan and she went into like a deep sleep. But what she was doing while she was doing that, she ended up in that room where Boyd was, well, where that man was that was there with Boyd. And remember, we seen Boyd down in that well, and Boyd, it was just wall to wall, and then all of a sudden somebody threw a rope down there. Now, the way this played out, it played out like Julie was the one that threw, the man told Julie to throw the rope. Julie threw the rope, and then he told her that he knew her name, and he told her to leave. So Julie was the one that threw the rope down there to Boyd. That's how he pulled himself up. How, if this happened weeks and weeks and some time after that, how did Julie end up doing it? So you had that going on. Meanwhile, also, I'm recapping all these scenes that happened over the last 3 episodes. You had the cop that came into town. That cop, she's not feeling the way how things going on. People just living life. But she's beginner. Everybody tried to do the things she tried to do. So she's trying to figure things out. Boyd took her gun. So her and Boyd's at odds. But, you know, Boyd's not wrong. So you had that going on. Then you have Victor. So Victor's trying to help the group. He don't want nobody else to die. So he finds that ventriloquist and pretty much said, if I reenact these moments, I could get some information from the ventriloquist. But then once he, you know, he kind of spazzed out on Sarah, telling Sarah that, you know, basically she not helping. So you had that going on with Victor. He got into it with his dad. He left. And then he showed up at Sarah's house. He want to go in Sarah's basement. So, meanwhile, you had Fatima going in to eat the bad food again with Hungry. Tully shows up. Fatima turns around, stabs her in the chest with some garden cutters. And Tully said, you need to run. Basically, she wasn't holding against Fatima. She knows something's in Fatima, but told Fatima, you need to run. So she left and got with Ellis. That was the end of the last episode. Got with Ellis, and Ellis pretty much, like, he gonna protect her. So this episode, the last episode, I think that's episode 8. I say episode 7. And, yes, episode 8. So telling Boyd pretty much what she did, and Boyd, like, I'm gonna protect you. So she's out in a cupboard, like a little small cupboard out in the woods somewhere away from everybody. Meanwhile, Ellis seems like, not Ellis, Elgin. Elgin seems that he's watching all this because he's sitting there and somebody, one of the ghost things taking pictures of all this. So you don't know what's going to happen yet. And of course, Elgin ain't telling nobody. Meanwhile, the cop that's there is trying to investigate the town. She finds out that Sarah killed somebody while they was in the town, and pretty much now they're trying. Everybody found the body of Tully. They're trying to find out who did the killing. Ellis is pretty much like, let's tell the whole group, because if we tell the whole group, maybe they understand. And Boyd is like, no, they don't. So then you had Jade and Tabitha and them came back, and Jade comes into the bar, and of course Victor's dad was there. He was having some drinks with Donna, and him and Jade had a little, meeting each other and having back and forth. And so the dad went back and pretty much he told Tabitha that a couple days ago, before she returned, that she got a phone call. The cords don't work, but he still got a phone call, and it was somebody saying they were Thomas. So it was a spirit saying that they were Thomas. Is he was pretty much saying like the place knows things about us that of course others don't know. And it's breaking us up. So Tabitha paused. And so he ended up going talking to Jade, telling Jade like you need to leave my wife alone and stop putting stuff in her head. He pretty much said, you think basically your wife is a grown woman and I ain't put nothing in her head. And these are things that you should, what are you doing to help pretty much? So Jade walked out and he stayed there. The dad stayed there talking to Victor's dad, and then they had a little back and forth. So you had that going on, and then Ethan ran into the town and got Kenny and the cop that came in with Tabitha and them pretty much because Julie passed out and was shaking, and so Ethan came running, lured them back in the woods. They pulled Julie out, and as soon as they pulled her out of that shrine area, she came to, grabbed Ethan, hugged her, and so she go up and she come back and tell people what she experienced going into that shrine and how she seen everything, the things she seen. So when Fatima was out in the cover area out in the woods, Elgin showed up and pretty much said, hey, play like he was coming with Ellis and she needed to follow him. He lured her to the cellar, and then when she was looking like, she's like, Ellis is back there? Well, I'll wait for him to come out. And because it looked spooky, of course. And then he was like, nah, come on, it's already prepared, whatever. So she went down there a little bit, she was skeptical. And then he ended up, and she was like, no, I can't go in there, I'm not going in there. Then the pain in her stomach sparked like she was having contractions. And so he was like, see, even the baby know that you're supposed to be here. And she was like, I don't have a baby. What are you talking about? And he said, I know, it's not yours. Like as if she's an empath and she's having a baby for another entity. Like that spirit woman that was down there. So trying to just connect the dots. Maybe that spirit woman that's down there knows that Fatima, she lost a baby. She want a spirit baby. And she got to have it in that room, so she need a live being, some weird situation like that. But nevertheless, Elgin dragged her back to that room, and pretty much it's already a bed and all that down there, and maybe they're gonna make it have a spirit baby, and then by that spirit woman that lost the baby have a live baby, a spirit out of Fatima, that's going to give that spirit woman peace. I don't know. Some weird thing going on with that. But Elgin dragged her in there. Ellis and boys showed back up to the cupboard. Fatima wasn't there. But before that, they seen Donna. Donna came in. And Ellis kept harping on boy like we need to tell the group. So when Donna came in, boy's conscience was there. So they told Donna pretty much like, listen, they're looking for the group is great. Hit up to Sarah's house. She the only one did some killings here. They're going after Sarah in the matter. Like, nah, you did this killing. So she wanted to tell Boyd, and so the thing is, Boyd was like, it wasn't Sarah, it was Fatima. And so Donna just like, I love Fatima, but if she did it, she got to go on the cupboard. And then they were like, nah, we could just tell the group what's going on. It was like, they're not trying to hear that. And basically, they only dealt with Sarah because you told them that they had to do that. And so pretty much Donna was telling Boyd, they don't believe in you no more. So the faith is dying, so they're going to stop listening to you. So if you tell them that, they ain't going to want to hear that. So Donna left out and said, basically, don't put me in this position. Either you tell the group or I'm going to tell the group. And so Boyd dipped out and told Ellis, I'm going to give you some supplies and go be with your woman out in the wilderness. And he told him, just be careful. If something happened, you got to remember that wife. Because remember, Boy's wife turned, something jumped at her and she turned to start killing people. So basically, Boy's trying to protect Ellis, like, that happened to your mom. I had to kill your mom when we was in this town. So you got to be prepared to do the thing for Fatima. So you had that going on, and then you was last. Well, it ended with Elgin, what he did to Fatima, but it was another part that oh yeah, so you had Tabitha. Sarah showed up to the house, and she showed up to the house and asked her for Tabitha because she needed help with Victor in the basement, and so Tabitha calmed Victor down because Victor was trying to get Sarah to play as the ventriloquist, but then Tabitha came and calmed him down. And I'm thinking, to me, I'm still going to say if Tabitha was, once at that place before, what is her ties to the place if she was there when she was little? I'm thinking, earlier, like other seasons, I've been had the thought that Tabitha was Victor's sister, but and she doesn't. You thinking, well, wouldn't the dad recognize his daughter, right? Maybe not. I don't know. And then you thinking, well, how does she know? Oh, well, no, the address is in Victor's lunchbox so that's how she went to the address. But, so, I don't know, certain ties to it, but I always thought that Tabitha could have been Victor's sister that left with the mom many, many years ago, or whatever. Victor was already disturbed, so that's why he didn't recognize his sister, So who knows? Nevertheless, she calmed Victor down, and when she calmed Victor down, he started remembering what he was saying, and it wasn't that the ventriloquist was talking; it was the little boy in the white was talking to the man, telling them everything that the kids, what happened to the kids, the people of the town killed the kids, and that's why the kids is asking for help because the people of the town killed the kids and the harm that they did. And so that was revealed in Victor's vision when he was listening as a kid. So that's pretty much what, in a nutshell, what happened in the last couple of episodes. Overall, was decent enough for me to do a recap, speed through these last episodes in one video. Going forward, I'll individually recap the next couple of episodes. Hopefully it pick up. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.